Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Don't mind the hair, I just did some exercise. But as you can tell from the title, there's going to be spoilers about Shadow of the Tomb Raider and the ending, so if you don't want that, don't watch the video. But I just finished Shadow of the Tomb Raider today. It took me 20 hours and I probably have around 94% completion. Just a small amount of stuff to find out. It took me 11 hours to get to Pt1, the main hub. That's, I took time, I collected all this stuff, I did all the tombs in the game before finishing the game, and all the crypts. And I have to say, the tombs are very hard. I got stuck on a tomb for 50 minutes, approximately. I think the longest tomb in the game for me was about an hour and a half-ish, they were very long tombs, and the story tombs are very fun. I think the Trial of the Eagle, because I didn't watch any videos, took me about half an hour to do. And the Trial of the Jaguar and Spider took about half an hour together themselves. The tomb in Kawakiyaku took about 20 minutes to do, and then there's a few other ones like the cathedral in San Juan took a very long time to do. That took about an hour out of my time really to do that one, because that one was very confusing. And then the challenge tombs all took around 40-ish minutes to do themselves, and the crypts took around 10 to 20 minutes each to do. Now, for the story, Uranta, I actually can't pronounce her name, dies, and she gives, this is where all the confusion is, by the way. She gives Lara her amulet and her bracelet. That means Lara, when Uranta died, Lara technically has her soul, her embodiment is in Lara now. Lara has all the destiny now to go and stop the world. When they meet Lara is calling her Ishiki. Lara probably doesn't even know what that means, but she's actually being portrayed as a goddess. But not in the term of Lara is immortal and all this. Lara is just in replace, because Uranta's destiny was to die and hand that to Lara, so Lara could give up the other one's soul. So when Lara's in the temple and she's being worshipped and she gets stabbed with the knife, by the way, there's a really beautiful scene that made me cry my eyes out. It was really hard to watch, really. Lara killed Dominguez and took the dagger off him, and the dagger, absorbed Lara, and she had a flashback, and it was of Lara's parents and her having, a great time in the manor, running around, doing some painting, having fun, talking about their next vacation. And Lara's watching it, and she's crying as she's watching it, because she slowly begins to realize she either saves the world and keeps the friends she has. Like, she hears Jonah saying, "I like the world I have now." Lara's actually kind of tempted to change everything and have a family. In the whole game, it's hinted that that's what she wants, crying in Dominguez's face saying, "I could have had a family and you took that away from me." And he kind of notices that, and he nearly a tear in his eye about, like, oh my god, I actually messed up with this family, but I had to do what I had to do to save Pt1. And like, he's obviously making valid points. Like, he had to save Pt1 because he does somewhat, like, he saw what Trinity was doing there, and he had to kind of tell them, hey, stop. So Lara starts crying in the flashback, and then she says, goodbye father, goodbye mother, and goes back to the real world. And that's what made me cry, is the fact that it came to her that she couldn't save her family because she wanted Jonah, and she wanted her best friend, and she wanted what she had now, and she's happy with what she has now. And she comes to realize that over the game she becomes less about her, which in Rise of the Tomb Raider, it was kind of towards the end, it became, it's about me, I'm the one doing this. And in the comic books as well, she would not slow down. And for the first half of this game, but even Jonah was irritated for a lot of this game. But then she slowly began to realize that it was about Jonah. When she thought Jonah was dead, she went insane in the oil rig after the earthquake. Insane. And then she is sacrificed. She's lay down on the altar, but because she has the amulet and the bracelet, it's not Lara who's being sacrificed. And I don't think anyone realized this, but it's really obvious to me. It's not Lara being sacrificed, it's the queen of Pt1 is being sacrificed because Lara had the sun part of the amulet. She was restoring the sun in trade for a soul that, yes, is dead, but Lara is not being traded. Then the one who stabbed Lara, she disappears. She dies when it happens. So 2 people lost their lives instead of Lara losing her life. And then it ends. And 2 days later, Lara's in Pt1 with Jonah. And Jonah's going to go off to the beach with Abby. So Jonah has a girlfriend, which is very nice. It's nice to see him in a relationship in the game, which I think it's nice to see him happy. And then it cuts back to after the credits, Winston. Now there's 2 endings. I'm going to say the ending that I got, and then I'll say the alternate one. It's Winston. By the way, the manor in the ending credits looks more like the manor from... So, in my ending, the manor looked like the one from... what's it called? Rise of the Tomb Raider. But in the other ending, it looks like the one from the Shadow of the Tomb Raider. So I think the one that people got from Shadow, where it looks like the new manor, I think that's the real ending. I think that's the proper... No, I think they're both the same. It's just one gives more context on what's on her desk, and one gives more context on the next mission. So in my one, Winston's walking down the hall to the office. Lara's writing a note to Jonah saying she's glad to have slowed down. She can't wait for her next adventure, to see what the next adventure is. But she's just happy to be home. And Winston walks in and it's like, "Tea, Miss Croft." And she's like, "Yes, thank you, Winston." And then it pans to a letter on Lara's desk, which says, in this big drop, it says, "To Lara Croft, Croft Manor, from Jacqueline Natla." And I'm like, Natla. Yes, Natla's in this game, is in this timeline. And then it pans away slowly after she's unfolding the letter, showing off the office. And then the other ending, it pans in the window, where Lara's talking, and it pans in the window from our playground and pans down the wall. So on the wall is the samurai sword from Yamatai, and then a skull from Yamatai, then the dagger from the game, Dagger of Shiel, and then from Shadow, and then it also has the atlas is on her wall, her pickaxe, her bow, and some other artifacts from the 3 games. Then Lara's at her desk writing her note to Jonah, and then Winston comes in saying, "Tea, Miss Croft," and she says, "Lovely." But in my version, the manor was wooden. But in the other one, it's blue. So like she painted the wood blue or something. I don't know. It looks kind of like her mother's room. Looks like her mother's painting room from Rise. So anyway, it pans up the wall. And she's like, "I'm just glad to be home for now." To a picture of Lara, her mother and dad, a dinosaur, and an Egyptian pyramid. And people think... Now, this is what I personally think from this ending. This is a trilogy. This is Lara's journey to becoming the Tomb Raider. Now I think they're going to spend another 2 games in this exact same timeline, just after Shadow of the Tomb Raider, like the past 2 games, taking on straight after, no less than a year. No more than a year. So we had Tomb Raider. She became the survivor. She said she knew what she must become. She then became an adventurer, saying we become who we're meant to be. Then at the start of Shadow, basically in the middle, she's like, "What will I become from this killing?" And then at the end she realizes, "I'm the Tomb Raider. This is my destiny. I'm not supposed to wear short shorts and all that, but this is my destiny. I'm not heartless anymore. I'm gonna kill because I have to, not because I need to or want to." I phrased that wrong. She's not gonna kill for the thrill of killing. Trinity's gone, by the way. The High Council was taken out. The High Council came into the main tomb at the end of the game, in the main city, the city of the Serpent, and they were taken out. The High Council was killed. Dominguez was killed. Wark was killed. The whole Trinity is gone. Trinity just has a couple cells left around the world, a couple scattered, but there's no Trinity anymore. The whole organization is gone because there's no one to send funding to, because there's no leader for Trinity anymore. So I think either one more game, they might make it a saga, or they might make it a chronicle, like the first 5 games might make chronicles out of this game. You know, have the fourth and the fifth game. The fourth game be about a lot of tomb raiding, and then the fifth game kind of leaving off probably with a bit more family research in it. So say she begins to research more about what happened to her family, the tombs in the house and all that, kind of like Underworld, and this end off this. So I think the next game will probably be 2020. That's just my prediction. I think we're going to get an announcement at I think at the end of next year. No, I say by E3 next year, because they now have 7 months. Because obviously the DLC is kind of done probably some polishing, but they have 7 months now to start kind of thinking about the next game. I think I might get a cinematic trailer or like a CGI trailer at E3 next year, kind of talking about the next adventure. And then I think we'll get the first trailer in Gamescom, and the launch trailer in the E3 of 2020, and the game will come out around October-ish. We'll get another trailer in Gamescom in August, then the launch trailer at the end of September, and the game will be out in October. Then I think nothing will happen in 2021. Nothing about the next game. Then at E3 in 2022, we'll get a trailer, and then a launch trailer at the end of that year. And then the game will come out, say, April 2023. Let's say that, 2023. So 5 more years, 2 more games. That's personally what I think, because we went 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 5 years for 2 games this time as well, for Rise and Shadow. I think the 4th game in the game will be kind of like Rise. It'll have a lot of the same elements as Shadow and kind of build a bit off of it. It won't be as innovative, have a lot of tombs, an okay story. And the 5th one will probably have the best story in the trilogy. I think they'll have a great send-off for this Lara. And we'll kind of see her going in, coming, like doing her stuff, you know. It'll end off, she'll be around 26, 23, 24, 25, around 25, going on 26. She'll be with Joanna, but she'll have a load of other friends. She'll have a load of people on her side. Mana is fully restored at this point, and she's happy, and she's doing what she loves, doing archaeology, finding these myths, finding these tombs. And that'll be it. And I think they'll probably take a while to do anything new, but I honestly think they like the style they're doing now. The realistic style, you know. Being left in the wilderness looking for tombs instead of just finding a tomb out of nowhere. It's not hidden then, you know. And having the survival elements, but lessening it down, lessening on the combat as well. This game had barely any combat, by the way, but when it did, it was hard because you didn't have time. You were preparing, but you didn't know how to do it because there was not a lot of it, which I like. But yeah, that's my impressions. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I love this game. I cried like 5 or 6 times in this game, to be honest. I was bawling a lot of times. It was very, very emotional. I think the writing was the best in the trilogy. And when you just see this Lara, you know she's been through hell, you know. Talking about Sam, talking about her friends, talking about Yamatai, talking about, you know, Siberia and all that. You know, meeting the guy who killed Anna, you know, who killed everyone. Finding the guy who ordered her dad's execution and just yelling in his face and going off on him and telling him all of his mistakes and him understanding it, but her understanding his, you know, idea of the world. It was well put together. I love this game. I think it was the best. I can't wait to see what to do for the next 7 months with the next DLCs. But yeah, I'm going to finish the game at 100%. It's probably going to take around 30 hours like Rise did. Then I'm going to do New Game Plus, see how that's like, what the new skill tree is like. And then, yeah. Thanks for watching.